Okay, here we go. I am going to play the Augusta National Golf Course. I am going to use Ernie Els from the 2000s set as my golfer because I don't want to get into a lot of looking up. I am going to go with just calm winds for this demo and also normal greens. So let's get started with Ernie. First hole at Augusta is a par 4, 435 yards. Oh, I am playing the number 4 pin, which is the yellow pins. First hole here, special instructions says to deduct 10 yards from the flight of all tee shots. I will be using the special Augusta terrain rules about rough. If I am in a rough, I will use the optional rule though of rolling the one die, and if I get a 6, I will have a poor lie. So let's get going. First hole here. Ernie is a wood. His average wood is 4 and his iron is 4, so that'll make it easier when I'm looking up to see what shot we should use. If we go over to the one wood, we'll see that the average 4 goes 265 with a roll of 235 for 300. And the worst number we can get on the green dice is a 5, which will be left or right 20. Others aren't too bad. So if we take that into consideration, we might as well go straight down, knowing that that trap is looming on the right-hand side, but I want to stay away from the trees also. One other thing, I've just recently started using, I know that ASG doesn't say there's to worry about the dog leg here, but I have started using a technique that I saw on the Delphi forums, and that really involves laying a straight edge against the line, center line, going down the middle, and then looking at where to find the slope basically. And if you look here, it looks like it intercepts mainly, let me get situated here, the third grid here. So I go, when the ball crosses this line and gets into the dog leg, I will continue its roll or its flight by going 3 up and 1 over. In doing that, as I continue, depending on the length of flight and roll of the ball. So this is what I would call a 3-to-1 dog leg factor. So I'm still going to head right down the center, and we'll see what happens. Okay, my roll is a 25 with a 1. The 25 on the wood for Ernie is a 2. So we go over to 1 wood. A 2 result is a 275. The green die is 2 right 10 and a roll of 35. But remember, we deduct 10 yards from the flight of all tee shots. So that will be 265, R10 where it lands with a roll of 35. So let's see what we get. 265, 60, and plop. We're going to end up in the sand trap. So the thing we worried about, we ended up going in right away. Let me check that. No, it's right 10. I apologize. So we hit right near the trap, which is a really good flight. But now if we roll forward, and remember at this point I'm going to go 3 up and 1 over, I will hit the trap. Here's 5 yards, so that's 5 and 10. I hit the trap, and then I think I get half the remaining roll. The roll was 35, so I've used 10 yards of my roll, leaving 25, and I always round up, so we'll go 15 more yards in the trap. Okay, as I was reviewing the video of this first hole and on the initial drive, I got to thinking that I played the end of the drive shot wrong. So I'm inserting this into the video just as an alternative. I'm not going to change the rest of the hole. I'll play it out as you'll see. But if you remember, Ernie's shot was 265. It was 265 R10, and then it had a roll of 35. And remember, I explained the dogleg factor to you, and I didn't take that into account. So when I said it rolled 5, 10, and into the trap, I said, okay, the rest of the roll was halved, so half of 25, and like I said, I round up 15 yards. But remember, I had told you guys that I'd calculated the dogleg factor here, so in reality, I think what I should have done, or could have done, is went 5, 10, now I got a remaining roll of 15, right? Half of 25 rounded up is 15. So 5, 10, 15, there's my 3 of the dogleg factor, and at that point, I should have went over 1. And then I would have had a roll of 10 left, 1 or 5, 10, and because I didn't go the full 15 yards, I don't step it over 1 grid to the left. So as an alternate landing spot, it could have, this theoretically would have represented the ball either rolling into the trap and out, or you could even have thought that maybe the way this thing, well, I'm playing that it rolled in the trap and out. Let's leave it at that. Let's not get overcomplicated here. So I didn't follow my rule on the dogleg right off the bat. So I'm just showing you that this is how I think if I had to do it over again, I would have played it. And what I'm just letting you know is what I'm finding out is as you video while I'm holding my iPhone and videoing the game or the holes, I find that it's very easy to forget special rules. So pardon me on this, but I wanted to show this as an alternative to using the dogleg factor that the ball would have rolled in and then out of the trap. Okay, so green pin is going to be 5 yards in front of the center of the green, which is that first center, that brown pin here is at 430 yards. So that would be 130 back to here. I'm 140 yards away from that center of the green. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm in the sand trap. I'm actually from the pin 135 yards. So let's go see what kind of club I can use at 135 yards distance for Ernie. Well, here in a 9-iron from the sand, his average would be 140, so that's a little too far. Let's check out this one. Okay, there is a pitching wedge is 130. Boy, that's a tough call. That might be a little short. And there's only a 5-yard roll, so if it rolled his average there, that would be a 135 total. Actually, that turns out to be pretty good. So I'm going to use a pitching wedge, and I'm going to aim. Sorry for the washout here. I don't know why it's doing that. It must be the glare. I'm going to use a pitching wedge from the trap, and I'm going to aim right at the yellow pin. Let's see what we get. Get a roll of 65 with a 6. 65 on the iron is an 18R. So on a sand wedge, there's no special rules. The R has nothing special. So 18 is not a very good shot. 18 is here. It's 100 yards, and it's right 10 with a roll of 5. So 100 R10 with a roll of 5. So coming over here, I move up 10. Now I got 90. I go 390. Wow, he was really short. I aimed at it, so 390s here, right 10 with a roll of 5. So he chunked it out of the sand trap, but he's still okay. He's got a short chip onto the green. Now what I do is I take a look, and basically to get to the yellow pin I am 10 yards over and 10, 20, 30 up. So I've got a 10 by 30 grid. I could use 10 by 30. Here is, you're going to see that it's 76, 10 by 30 yards is 106 feet away. So that's what I'm going to use, which is 32. 106 feet is 35 yards. So it's in that 25 to 50 of our shorter wedge shots. So let's see what Ernie does with a 4 average. If we come down this column and a 4, we look across. If he hits average, if I go to the pin, I'll be pin high. I've got inside 5s, which means the ball will move toward the inside of the green. So I'm liking this, and even if I'm plus or 5, minus or plus or minus 5 long, I should be in good shape. So shooting from the fairway, I am going to go straight for that pin. A 45 on the dice roll. Looking at the iron result is a 4M. Now this will probably come into play. M says from the fairway and rough add 12 numbers to the result. So what I got a result of 4, so I have to go to 16. So Ernie must not be the greatest wedge player here. So coming back here, I'm in column 4, we go down to 16. He's minus 5, 0. So not terrible. Not terrible at all. So coming back to the hole, that is landing right there. So I'm a 0 by 5 grid away. 0 by 5 on the initial putting chart says 15 feet minus 2 dice. Remember, I roll the green one too, because if I got a 6, I add it instead of subtract. Whoa, what a nice gift there. 15 minus 12 is a 3-footer. He actually made a great shot. 5 says no double or no adding. So Ernie's 3 foot away on the Augusta golf course. We use putting chart number 2 for the first hole. So I'll take putting chart number 2. If we look at the 3-foot column, he's going to have a pretty good chance of, he goes all the way up to 35. So this should be almost a tap in for Ernie. Oh, 66, what a time to roll that for a putt. We go down, and it's a 1. He's in. So Ernie starts the Augusta golf course with a par.